How are you doing on this one?
Almost like done with it. Got x equals 3.
You are correct. Very good. Okay, so these are the easy ones. I'm sure you got much more difficult ones. You're going to send that over. Ones where you got to make a common denominator, restrict the domain, things like that.
Alright, so here, let me start over. Um, yeah, let's try 8.
Yeah, this is a good one for us to look at. So first thing here, let me grab a snip of it. First thing is you really want to restrict your domain, meaning you like say, hey, these are the values that it cannot be. Because you are guaranteed to get one on your test where you get the answer that is what it is, what it is what it cannot be. So you're solving this for x cannot be -2. All right. I'm not saying you're going to get that in this problem, but like at some point you will. Guaranteed. That's what teacher does. Okay.
She
Any
did
idea
say
what the
that she did say that the on today's test, that was like one of the actually no, I think she said another thing was the most common thing, but she did say that was also a thing like if you didn't check that if it was like an actual like and if it was applicable and if it wasn't out it wasn't one of the what it can't be like if it what you got wasn't the one of the ones that X couldn't be that you're supposed to check against that before putting it as the final answer. She did say that was one of the things that like a lot of people miss is that they didn't check if it like was one of the ones where it says X is not equal to yeah.
and the analogy I always make is you ever been to a store, really excited to go to a store or restaurant, you get there and it's not open and you're like, oh, we should have checked first. It's kind of like that. You're just like really frustrated. So all right. There are two things that you can look for. There's the common denominator and then the least common denominator. So the common denominator is just multiplying everything together, which you don't want to do. That takes too much time. Here you have to look at the numbers. So what's the least common denominator between 8 and 2?
Two.
It would be 8. Okay.
Yes.
Um, least common. It's not the greatest common factor. Okay. Um, and then you would look at the x plus 2. So if you were to do a least common denominator, which you do not have to do in this problem, it would be 8 times x plus 2. Sometimes there's like a little thing you can do here. You can subtract 1/8 from both sides. Okay. And so this is 20 over 8 minus 1 over 8. It's 19 over 8. And now it's like one that we've been doing all along. So you want to look for that because that'll save you a ton of time. Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to try solving this one for us, please? The answer here is not a friendly number. It's a pretty unfriendly fraction.
All right. So you got 9/18 or 9/8?
The answer I got is 38 over 21.
Oh.
So we got 8 times 5x equals 19 times x plus 2. 40x equals 19x
Yeah,
plus
I didn't
30.
get that.
Okay. What did you get? What did you diagonally multiply here?
So wait, how did you get 5x over x plus 2 equals 19/18?
19 over 8. You subtract the 1/8 from both sides.
Uh,
This is a special case where you can do that, and it's probably something your teacher would do to cause you to, you know, use up precious time. Because you could make a common denominator and a least common denominator, but you don't have to because it's a number. So you get down here, you subtract 19x from both sides. 31x equals 38, divide by 31, and x equals 38 over 31. Sorry, that's a 21, not a 31, but small thing there, 21. Okay, any other thoughts on this before we proceed to something else?
um, hmm, okay, yeah, I think I got that now. But it's just like a, yeah, I think I was doing a different way using the least common denominator. And
Sure.
think might have made
It
a
just add
mistake from like
adds
a,
extra work, unfortunately. Would not recommend that in this
all right,
problem. You'll probably have to do it in all the others we do, but
all right, let's do G. Do that.
yeah, so we're finally kind of at one. It's like, all right, we got to do it the way that, this is the true type of text, problem you might send your test or quiz. So first thing is you have to restrict the domain. You have to set each of these not equal to 0. You might consider factoring the last one.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
up to
what
you.
she did in class. She factored, if it was like x squared, then it was different to square. She just factored it to x minus one x plus that.
It's up to you. You have to factor it ultimately, but for this domain restriction, you don't have to factor it. It just could help. Um, so x cannot be -1, x cannot be 1, and those are the same restrictions here.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is the middle piece right here. This 1 minus x is like completely backwards. We really want it to be x uh, x minus 1. So um, you would factor out a negative out of it, and then that negative would go up with that to make a plus.
Yeah, sorry, go up with what? The negative before it. Okay.
Subtraction, yeah.
Then that makes
The
it
net,
1 plus x.
yeah, 1 over x minus 1
Oh, yeah, that would be like minus
equals 2 over x minus 1, x plus 1.
1. Then you would use x minus 1, x plus 1 as the common, use common denominator, and you would,
That's right. That's right. Least
got
common
it.
denominator. It's a lot of writing, so try to minimize what you can here. Now that you've got a least common denominator, you can just look at the top.
X minus 1. So in this case, you would get no solution.
Well, you get x equals 1. So if you're not getting that, let's take a look here. It's x minus 1 plus x plus 1.
Yeah, so
The
then the
2x.
oh yeah, I think I put x minus 1 minus x plus 1 because of the minus in the original problem.
And so this is not, there is no solution because the solution that you get is not in the domain.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, because the domain restricts it from -1 and 1. Got it.
Okay. We got plenty of time here to do more.
All right, let me. See.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, this is another kind of real, real legitimate question you might see on test or quiz. You should first restrict the domain. X plus 1 cannot
X,
equal 0.
X
X
minus.
minus 2. Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't you take the opposite sign of that? Like if it was X plus one, wouldn't the restricted domain be X does not equal -1 and 2?
Great. That's your net result. But I like to write it this way because it reminds me how to do it correctly each time rather than trying to remember a rule like when do I switch it or when do I not switch it. You'll find there's a lot to remember and there's only so much capacity. So what is the least common denominator in this problem?
X minus 2?
Okay. And it's always got to include everything. Does that make sense?
Uh, is it X minus 2, X plus 1? Is that the
Yeah,
least
yeah,
common?
yeah, exactly. And so you figure out what are you missing? You're missing an x minus 2 from the one on the left. You're missing an x plus 1 from the middle one, and you're missing both on the one on the right. Okay, so we got x times x minus 2 on top plus x times x plus 1 on top equals 2 times x minus 2 x plus 1. So you only care about the top.
Got it.
Now you gotta multiply in x squared minus 2x plus x squared plus 1x equals 2 times, and you got a FOIL here, x squared minus x minus 2.
So you get X squared plus 2x equals 2x squared minus 2x minus 4.
Please double check that. I mean, it might.
I think I forgot the next.
So let me know what you get for this when you solve it.
minus not equals 2x squared minus 2x minus 4. Okay, yeah. Mm, yeah, 0 on one side. All right, I got x equals 4.
Be -4. The two x squareds cancel.
Yeah, and
And then when
then
you add the
negative.
2x, you get the 1x on the left.
Oh, that's why. So yeah, then it'd be -4.
And then you go back and you check. You're like, is that a problem? Nope, we're good. So you say, yeah, that's my answer. All right. Any other questions on that?
No, yeah, I get it now.
Cool. Probably can do another one if you want, real quick. Um,
All right. Right, um,
It's a lot like the one we just did, so be very, very similar here. Can't emphasize enough how important it is to restrict your domain when you start. Um, and so you'll get like it depends if your teacher's big on like super show work, but you'll get where you don't even need to write all the stuff that we've been
I think
writing.
she allows us to do some steps in our head, but like like we have to like show steps like so you can only do like 2 steps at most without like showing it. That's kind of for like thing for tests and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think you saw that in your last test. Show work is a place where you got to do what they want. I'm not great at it, so I don't get graded, but you do, so do what they want. Um, you'll see that this one reduces to some sort of a quadratic. This becomes x plus 5, x squared plus 3x plus 2. You end up moving things right this time. And then hopefully you get something that you can factor. This one does factors into x plus 3, x minus 1 equals 0. So x equals -3, x equals 1. Both are okay. So you can see that, a lot of times it does work out. When you get a quadratic though, it could be quadratic formula, could be really anything. You could use completing the square on stuff. Their expectation though is that you know how to solve all of these at this point.
Got
So,
it.
all right, we're gonna stop there for today. Sorry, I didn't mean to not to share the screen.